This is the JJRC H30 Mini, and you'll be able to tell it is absolutely mini. This is probably the smallest drone I've ever seen commercially. I've flown a lot of tiny drones, microquadcopters, ones with and without cameras, and this is personally the tiniest one I've ever seen. And it also fits nicely into the controller that it comes with, and you get a nice clip on there, so it's easy to transport, and you're not going to risk damaging anything. Okay, so there's huge Black Friday deals going on over at GearBest. They've got 3-day shipping and massive discounts on all drones and RC things, so go ahead, check that out, links in the description. So it's got this nice little handheld controller that actually has a lot of features, but unfortunately the instructional manual is completely in Chinese, so I'm probably just going to have to work out what we need to do, so I'll be sure to mention that in the video. In the box also we've got the charger, and as far as I can tell this seems quite interesting actually, the way we charge it. If we zoom in on here you can see we've got this little bit that sticks out, and we've got these two little metal electrodes underneath, so I think because it doesn't seem to be that we can actually access the battery in any way, so I think you actually clip the end of the charging cable, which you can see in here. You actually clip that onto the end here. I may be wrong, but I think that's, as far as I can tell, the only way I've seen to be able to charge the battery. So you'll see the only thing on here, we've got this tiny little on switch, and then we've got these bright blue and red flashing LEDs, and we can go ahead and switch that off again. It's a tiny little 80 milliamp hour battery, so it's something really tiny. Probably only get a couple minutes flight out of this, and maybe 4 or 5 if we don't go too aggressive. So let's go ahead, check it out, have a play with the controls, see what it looks like, and see how it flies. Okay, so the controls are very simple. We've got the power on the bottom left here, that just turns the controller on and off. We've got the left and right trim, and then the speed switch option on the top left there. We've got 3 speeds. On the right hand side we've got the middle 2 trim buttons for forwards and backwards. The bottom button actually puts it in headless mode, and then the top button will do a flip if we hold down one of the right hand sticks as well. So if we go ahead and turn it on, we bind by doing the throttle up and down, and then there you can see that the transmitter is fully bound to the drone, and I'll fly it nicely off the bottom left hand side of the screen. But seriously, this thing is pretty freaking epic. It's seriously fast for the size. You can see me messing about with the speed options a little bit here, trying to keep it on camera, and it just, yeah, it absolutely darts about. It's insane. The flips are awesome. It's got about 30-meter range, and I've got probably about 5 minutes flight time on this so far. So that is a really seriously good quadcopter for such a tiny size. However, can we whoop it? Let's find out. Okay, so taking all the plastic casing off, you can see we can get into the battery and onto the pads that we want to solder our tiny little Quantum Elite camera onto. The problem with this is I soldered the red wire on, as you can see. However, if you solder the black wire on, then it is going to be immediately on. The camera's going to be on all the time, not when you switch it on and off with the drone power switch. So that is going to drain the battery immediately, which is quite annoying. So rather than have it constantly draining the battery, I decided to only solder on the red wire and then attach all the housing back up and make a little indent in it to allow the red wire to come out of. And then I'll attach the black wire onto this charging port here with a tiny little bit of solder, and then that will power the camera. Now the problem I did have, and I've currently not solved, is where to place the camera, because if you put it on the top, then it doesn't fit, the propellers don't spin. If you put it on the bottom, then everything gets in the way and you can't really do it, unless you've got some really long wires and just kind of suspend it from the bottom by the antenna. And obviously you can't really put it upside down on the bottom either, because then your image is going to be inverted. So that is a problem, and here is just a flight test with the camera on but not attached in any specific way, and it fails epically. This was so disappointing when I got there. I think, well, I know that it's not going to be powerful enough to do this, even if I take sort of the prop guards off, the plastic housing, and everything else. I just think there's not enough power in those motors. So you could possibly upgrade the motors. I'm going to try and see if I can find some online, tiny little motors, and see if I can get an upgrade on this, and then I'll have the officially probably the tiniest whoop that you can get, so that will be really awesome. So stay tuned for that, guys. Sorry that it didn't work. It was an absolute letdown for me as well, but it would have been so awesome. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out some more ones. I've made a lot of tiny whoop videos and they're all pretty successful, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.